Hello and welcome to Learn with Hema's class. My dear students, this video we are going to do Julius Caesar Act 3 Scene 1 question and answers from Evergreen Workbook. The question and answers in this video are from a revised workbook from Evergreen publication. Previous year's workbook do have some similar questions, but there are many changes. So you can refer to this video for the changes if you are using the old book. There is not much difference, but still there are a few changes which you can refer to this video. Going ahead, one small request that if you are not a subscriber to my channel, I request you to kindly subscribe to my channel and help me out to reach 100k subscribers very soon. You can also share the videos with your friends because definitely it's going to help them as well. So in this video, I am not doing the MCQs, multiple choice questions, but I'll be completely doing the passages because there are 20 multiple choice questions which I'll take a separate video. Quickly we'll start ahead with the video. This is your passage 1. Caesar says to the soothsayer, the Ides of March has come. Soothsayer, Aye Caesar, but not gone. Artemidorus, hail Caesar, read the schedule. Decius, Trebonius doth desire you to overread at your best leisure this his humble suit. The first question, what does Caesar answer to the people who want him to read their suit? Who does Caesar get annoyed with and why? Caesar arrogantly answers, saying what concerns him personally shall be the last to receive attention. Caesar gets annoyed with Artemidorus as he was insisting Caesar to read his suit immediately. What does Populus say to Cassius? Why does Cassius get tensed up? What does he instruct Casca to do? Populus says to Cassius that he wishes them success in their enterprise that day. Cassius got tensed up as he feared that their intentions have been discovered. He instructs Casca to be quick in striking his blow. Third question, what makes Brutus tell Cassius to be calm? Brutus tells Cassius to be calm, for he was certain about Populus not disclosing their secret to Caesar. He was so certain as he could see Caesar smiling without changing his expression. Who takes Antony out of the way? Why? What is Metellus Cimber's suit to Caesar? Trebonius draws Mark Antony out of way because their enterprise cannot succeed in Antony's presence. Metellus Cimber implores Caesar to repel the banishment of his brother. State 3 instances to show Caesar's high-handedness in not granting Metellus Cimber's suit. According to Caesar, prayer and flattery can move only a fool but not him. Caesar also says that he will spurn anyone who will try to plead for Publius Cimber like kicking a dog. Lastly, he refuses to change his decision by declaring himself as constant as the northern star. All these 3 instances shows us Caesar's high-handedness in not granting Metellus Cimber's suit. Next passage, Metellus. Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ears for dash and question mark? In what position is Metellus before Caesar? Who is he pleading for? What is his request to Caesar? Is he really sincere about this request? Why? Answer. Metellus is in a kneeling position before Caesar. He is pleading for his brother. He requests Caesar to repel the banishment of his brother. No, he is not sincere about this request as this request was a part of conspiracy to assassinate Caesar. Why does Caesar not permit Metellus to kneel before him? What 4 things according to Caesar melt foolish people? Why is he not like these fools? Answer. Caesar does not permit Metellus to kneel before him because according to him these stupid bows and salutations may have some effect on ordinary men and fill their hearts with pride. Moreover, Caesar warns him not to be so foolish as to think that Caesar has such a weak nature that can be swayed from the proper course. According to Caesar, sweet words, servile low stooping, dog-like flattery and fawning submissiveness melts fools. Caesar says that he is not like those fools because he does no wrong nor will he be persuaded to change the orders that he gave. He is firm in his decision. Now this is a very big answer. If you wish, you can write this big answer or you can cut short this answer as per your need. because the question itself, there are 3 questions in it, and these 3 questions require at least this much answer. Next, what reasons does Caesar give Metellus that tells us that he will go by the law of the land? What does Caesar threaten Metellus with if he keeps on kneeling and begging? Answer. Caesar reasons Metellus by saying that he has done no wrong and will not be persuaded to change the sentence against his brother without sufficient reason. This instance tells us that Caesar will go by the law of land. Caesar also threatens Metellus to kick him like a dog out of his way if he keeps on kneeling and begging. Complete the last line of the quotation given above. So the quotation 4 was there, for the recall of my banished brother. Who responds to Metellus' request? What does he tell Caesar? Brutus responds to Metellus' request. Brutus desires that Caesar permits Publius Cimber to have freedom immediately and be allowed to come back from his banishment. Passage 3. Caesar. What? Brutus? Cassius. Pardon Caesar. Caesar pardon. To beg enfranchisement for Publius Caesar. Caesar. I could be well moved if I were you, as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the dash. What request has Brutus made to make Caesar exclaim, what Brutus? Why is Caesar shocked at Brutus' request? Brutus appealed Caesar to repel Publius' banishment. This appeal of Brutus made Caesar exclaim, what Brutus? Caesar is shocked at Brutus' request because he has asked to free Publius from banishment, and doing this would mean that he was trying to convince Caesar, who is as constant as a northern star, to alter the law. What appeal does Cassius make after Brutus? How is his behavior here unlike him? Cassius asks for pardon, falls on his foot to beg for the freedom of Publius Cimber. Cassius hates Caesar and would never request or ask for any favor from Caesar. But as it is seen that Cassius also kneels and requests in front of Caesar, whom he hates, is very unlike his behavior. Third, what reply does Caesar give Cassius? Between Brutus and Cassius, who does Caesar like better? Caesar replies Cassius stating that he could be easily persuaded if he were him. Caesar also states that it could lower himself to pray to others to soften them. Then he too could have been moved by prayers. But he is as firm as the pole star, which has no equal in the sky in the quality of constancy and fixed position between Brutus and Cassius. Caesar likes Brutus better. What does Caesar compare himself to in the blanks in the extract? Mention 2 qualities of this object. How does he compare himself to the object? Henceforth the name of the object in your answer. Caesar compares himself to the northern star. Northern star is constant and at fixed position. Caesar states that this world is full of men of flesh and blood who are similar in form and intelligence. Yet amongst them there is only one who keeps his position like the pole star, unchanged by any influence, undisturbed by any motion, and that is him. What is the purpose of Caesar comparing himself with object? Caesar compares himself to the northern star to prove his point that Publius Cimber, who was banished by law, should continue to be banished. Caesar strongly voiced that in no circumstance, just like the pole star, he shall reform the law. This is passage 4. Casca, speak hands for me. Who is Casca? What duty has he been given? By whom? Casca is one of the conspirators who is involved in Caesar's assassination. He has been given the duty to be the first to stab Caesar. He has to be very quick in performing his duty. This duty of striking Caesar was given to Casca by Cassius. Second, what does Casca do to make his hand speak? Why do you think it is a cowardly act? Casca stabs Caesar in the neck from behind to make his hands speak. This is a cowardly act because he and the conspirators believed that Caesar is more powerful than them and feared that they won't be able to attack Caesar from the front, and so they attacked from Caesar's back. Who strikes Caesar last? What is his relationship with Caesar? What does Caesar cry out? What is the significance of his last words? Brutus strikes Caesar last. Brutus and Caesar are dearly loved friends. Caesar cries out, "Et tu, Brute?" It means, "You too, Brutus." His words signify that Caesar can never ever, even in his dreams, think about Brutus going against him. That is, Caesar can never believe Brutus being one of the conspirators. Where does Caesar fall? Explain the irony of where he lay dead. How does Caesar's assassination affect the storyline of the play? Caesar falls at the foot of the statue of Pompey. The irony created here is that Caesar falls at the foot of the statue of the very man he defeated in the battle. Caesar's assassination is the turning point or climax of the play. His assassination resulted in a long series of civil wars that ended with the death of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. How do Cinna and Cassius react immediately after they have stabbed Caesar to death? How does Brutus try to appease the people? How does he show that he has performed an honorable act? What does it tell us about Brutus? Cinna proclaimed liberty, freedom, tyranny is dead immediately after Caesar's death. Cassius asks some of the conspirators to stand at the common pulpits and cry out that they have gained liberty, freedom and equality. Brutus tries to pacify the fearful or frightened commoners by saying them not to run, stay where they were. He also justifies the killing of Caesar by stating that Caesar has paid the price for his ambition. This tells us about Brutus that he loves his country more than anyone. This is the fifth passage. Brutus, stoop Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbow and besmear our words, then dash. What have Brutus and Cassius just spoken about being Caesar's friends before Brutus says of the above lines? Is it meant to be taken seriously? Why do you think so? Being Caesar's friends, Brutus and Cassius spoke how by killing, stabbing Caesar to death has cut off almost 20 years of life fearing death. 20 years of his life fearing death. No, it is not meant to be taken seriously. I think so because killing someone just to save their lives, years, fearing death is totally a joke. The reason to kill Caesar was given by them. It was to curb Caesar's growing ambition. How does Brutus feel about this act of washing their hands with Caesar's blood? Was it a murder in his eyes? Why? How does this act seem to be a fulfillment of Calpurnia's dream? Brutus felt this act of washing their hands with Caesar's blood as a sign of peace, freedom and liberty. No, it was not a murder in his eyes because he thinks he is a liberator in terms that he has liberated Rome from the unjust tyrannical rule of Caesar. Calpurnia's dream of Caesar's murder with blood spouts has come true as the act of stabbing Caesar to death by the conspirators was a replay of Calpurnia's dream. Complete the lines spoken by Brutus in the extract given above. Then, walk we forth even to the marketplace. What does Cassius have to say about how Caesar's assassination will be viewed in future? How does Brutus support what Cassius has said? Write the answer in your own words. According to Cassius, whenever this tragic act of Caesar's assassination shall be enacted, their band of conspirators shall be called the men who gave liberty to their country. Brutus supports Cassius' views by saying that Caesar, who now lies stretched out by the side of the pedestal of Pompey's statue, does not look any better than the dust around him. What does Cassius say that the conspirators will be called? What error of judgment does this group make as it brags about having killed Caesar? The conspirators make an error in their judgment by thinking that they shall be called as liberators, but their act of killing Caesar causes all Rome to turn against them. Everything from then on causes tragic events. Passage 6. Soft, who comes here? Who spoke these words? Name any two other persons present here. Brutus spoke these words. Cassius and Decius are present here. Give another word for soft. Who is it who has come here? On whose behalf has this person come here? Another word for soft is wait. One of the servant has come here. The servant has come on behalf of Antony. It's Antonio is written over here. It's Antony. Typing error. What four adjectives does the person use for the speaker? Do you think that these four adjectives are justified? Why? The person uses adjectives such as noble, wise, valiant and honest for the speaker. No, these adjectives are not justified for the speaker, as the speaker is unwise and an incapable statesman. Due to his irrational judgments, he thrusts himself and the conspirators to a greater trouble. He is unrealistic in his views and is guided more by his emotions than his intellect. What two requests does the person make? What is the behavior of this person towards the speaker? The person requests Brutus to allow Antony to come to him under an assurance of safety and also to get the explanation as to how Caesar deserved to be killed. This person shows respect to the speaker by kneeling down in front of him to pay his respects to him. What does the speaker assure this person? Why do you think the speaker's assurance is the turning point of the play? What does the person say before leaving? The speaker assures this person the safety of his master and also he will be given a proper explanation to his satisfaction. The speaker's assurance is the turning point of the play as it gives Antony the opportunity to turn the tables against the conspirators. Before leaving, this person informs that he will immediately go and fetch his master Antony there. This is passage 7. Antony, O mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, trumps, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. What does Antony wish for? Does he make such a wish? Antony wishes that he should also be killed at the same time when Caesar lies down and with the same weapon which was used to kill Caesar. His immense and selfless love for Caesar compels him to make such a wish. What reason does Brutus give for not granting Antony's wish? Does he justify to Antony the reason for murdering Caesar? Brutus denies Antony's wish as he believes that Antony deserves all kind of love, good wishes and respect. To justify his act, Brutus explains Antony that as fire drives out fire, so their pity for the general suffering has driven in them the pity towards Caesar, and it was this pity for the suffering of Roman people in general that has compelled them to perform that act of murdering Caesar. How does Brutus try to convince Antony that they have no ill will towards him? What does Antony do to extend his end of friendship towards the conspirators? What is Antony's ulterior motive in doing so? Is Antony really a coward? Who stands on such slippery ground? Answer. Brutus convinces Antony that their swords, which were sharp against Caesar, have lost their edge, their strong arms for Caesar have lost their strength, and their hearts have brotherly feeling of love for him. To extend his hand of friendship, Antony shakes hands with the blood-stained hands of the conspirators. Antony's ulterior motive in doing so is to gain the confidence of the Brutus and to be able to devise a plan to avenge the conspirators. No, Antony is not a coward. He is smart enough to act upon the adverse situation. What does Antony compare Caesar and the conspirators to? How does Antony win the confidence of the conspirators? Antony compares Caesar like a stag in the bay and the conspirators like hounds. Antony shakes hands with the conspirators to win their confidence. What request does Antony make? Who objects to his request? Was the person who objected sound in his judgment of Antony? How? Antony requests Brutus to allow him to show Caesar's dead body in the marketplace and to make a speech from the platform in the course of the funeral ceremony. Cassius objects to his request. Yes, the person who objected, that is Cassius, was sound in his judgment of Antony because he knew how shrewd and cunning Antony was. Also, Antony would easily be able to stir the people against them. Last passage, Antony. Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest men that ever lived in tide of times. Why does Antony refer to Caesar's body, thou bleeding piece of earth? Who does he call butchers? Antony refers to Caesar's body, the bleeding piece of earth, as Caesar was stabbed multiple places in his body to death from where blood was gushing out. He calls conspirators as butchers. They are Brutus, Cassius, Metellus, Cinna, Casca, Trebonius, Decius, Brutus, etc. When, why and how had Antony been meek and gentle with these butchers? What trait of Antony's character do you access by this action? Antony had been meek and gentle when the conspirators stabbed Caesar multiple places to death at the Capitol by treachery. From this action of Antony, we can make out that he is shrewd and cunning and can seek advantage to any situation. What does Antony profess on the wounds of Caesar? Who will roam about to take revenge? Does Antony's prophecy come true? How? Antony's prophecy: a curse shall descend upon bodies of men, a savage civil war shall rage and afflict all parts of Italy. Bloodshed and destruction shall be so common and dreadful sights, would be so familiar, that mothers shall merely smile when they see their infants cut to pieces with the weapons of war, that all their pity shall be smothered by familiarity with cruel deeds. Caesar's spirit shall roam about to take revenge. Yes, his prophecy comes true. Antony's speech on Caesar's funeral instigates the commoners, who in turn creates havoc in the city and destroy the conspirators. Who enters after Antony's soliloquies? What news does the person bring? A servant of Octavius Caesar enters after Antony's soliloquy. He informs Antony that Octavius Caesar has taken a halt that night within 7 leagues of Rome. What does Antony tell the person to convey to the person who has sent him? What 2 things does Antony request from the person to do at the end of the scene? Antony tells the person to convey the message to the person who has sent him that Rome is dangerous and therefore it is not safe for that person to enter Rome at present. Antony asks the person to wait till he had carried the dead body of Caesar into the marketplace. There he shall test the feelings of the people by addressing them to find out how they regard the cruel deed of the conspirators. Accordingly, the person shall describe to that person about the prevailing state of affairs. Antony also asks the person to help him carrying Caesar's dead body. So with this, my video ends. All the 8 passages with 5 answers each has been completed. What do you feel of this video? Is it helpful to you or no? Please do write in the comment box and let me know. And if you really like the video, if it was really very helpful, please do hit the like button as well. And please share it with your friends. And please, once again, my small request, subscribe my channel. That's all for today. Let's meet next time very soon. Bye-bye.